Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got to talk about Alexander Zverev because, honestly, some of his recent choices have left fans really scratching their heads. After a rocky 2025 season, Zverev's been saying one thing and doing another. From fitness struggles to confusing scheduling decisions, the German star's end to the year has been, well, a bit of a mess. Let's break down exactly what's going on. So let's rewind a bit. Zverev's 2025 started with some serious promise. Remember the Australian Open final back in January? He lost to Jannik Sinner, but honestly, he came out of that match with a ton of respect. People were saying, okay, Zverev's back, he's ready to fight at the top again. But since then, it's been all downhill. No finals in any Grand Slam or Masters 1000, early exits at Wimbledon and the US Open, and now, as we near the end of the year, he's trying to salvage something positive, but it's not looking great. And to make matters worse, Boris Becker recently criticized him. And a lot of people in the tennis world seem to be losing patience with Zverev's attitude and decision-making. A few weeks ago, Zverev made headlines for complaining that tournament directors were making court slower, apparently to favor players like Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner. Fans were like, "What?" Because that comment came out of nowhere and honestly didn't make much sense. Most players were focusing on improving their form, but Zverev seemed more focused on throwing shade. But if that wasn't confusing enough, what's come next has people really wondering what's going on in his camp. So here's where things start to contradict. Zverev arrives in Vienna and tells the press he's not feeling fit. He literally said he didn't even know if he was going to play his first match the morning of. That's how rough things supposedly were. Then he goes out there, battles Jacob Fernley, and admits afterward that he's been physically struggling for a while. Okay, fair enough. But here's where it gets weird. He still chose to play doubles. Yeah, he teamed up with Marcelo Melo in the doubles draw. So let's get this straight. You're claiming your fitness is shot, you're exhausted, and you might not even be able to play singles. But you're adding doubles to your schedule? Make it make sense. It's hard to imagine a player who's really struggling with their body deciding that extra matches are a good idea. And then there's decision number 2, signing up for the Davis Cup. Now look, representing your country is always a big honor. But given how Zverev's been talking about his physical condition, this move feels risky, especially when you compare it to Jannik Sinner, who's actually pulled out of the Davis Cup this year, even though he's helped Italy win it twice. Sinner's decision got some criticism too. But at least he's being smart about managing his body and his schedule. Meanwhile, Zverev's doing the opposite, adding more matches. When he's already saying he's running on empty, it's almost like he's trying to prove something. But it might come at the cost of his start to 2026, and that could be a huge mistake. Here's the thing. Zverev knows how good he can be at the Australian Open. He reached the final this year, remember? But if he keeps overloading his schedule, he risks showing up in January completely drained. Right now, he's still ranked inside the top 3, but that's mostly because of his results early in the year. If he doesn't sort out his form and his planning, that ranking could tumble fast next season between the odd comments, questionable scheduling, and the general frustration surrounding him. It feels like Zverev's at a bit of a crossroads. He needs to take a page out of the Alcaraz or Sinner playbook. Focus on consistency, smart scheduling, and staying healthy. Otherwise, 2026 might end up looking a lot like the second half of 2025. And that's the last thing he wants. So what do you think? Is Zverev just pushing too hard at the wrong time? Or is there something bigger going on behind the scenes? Let me know your thoughts down below, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for all the latest tennis updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.